Let's start with a scenario every dog owner has experienced. You're out for a walk, the leash is tight, and then, out of nowhere, your dog explodes forward towards something across the street. The immediate human reflex is to pull back. We issue a command, yelling no or leave it, and deliver a quick leash correction to try and wrestle back control of the situation. But those corrections rarely work. By the time the bark happens, your dog is already at maximum physical capacity. Their nervous system is entirely flooded, and they literally cannot hear the command. We lose these battles on the leash because we arrive too late. We try to stop a reaction when we are actually looking at the very end of a behavioral sequence. Think of that lunge and that bark as the final word in a sentence your dog has been speaking for quite a while. The actual decision to react didn't happen when they barked. It happened several seconds earlier, completely unnoticed by whoever was holding the leash. This chart tracks a typical difficult walk. The human perception line only spikes at the loud, visible climax, but look at the dog's physical tension curve. It starts building steadily, long before the bark, through a series of quiet, hidden physical shifts. To eliminate the stress on these walks, we need to stop trying to silence the loud behavior and learn how to read the quiet physical signals. Let's slow the walk down to a fraction of a second and isolate exactly what happens before a reaction. Watch the pause closely. The smooth walking rhythm breaks, and a single step becomes completely rigid and halts. That is the very first tell. It's a subtle compression of the stride, landing exactly half a step shorter than the one right before it. Immediately following that shortened footfall, the dog's head lifts. Their focus locks onto something in the distance, something you probably haven't even spotted yet. Then comes a subtle wave of rigidity. The muscles throughout their entire body tighten and gather weight, bracing for forward momentum. The shortened step, the lifted head, the gathered weight. Together, these three sequential micro-movements form the signal. It is the canine body's early warning system that their environmental baseline has changed. Let's look at the biology governing this exact fraction of a second. An incoming sensory signal hits the nervous system, bypassing the conscious frontal lobe entirely and triggering an immediate muscular loading sequence. We call this the predicting brain. Those early muscle twitches are pre-prediction outputs. The dog's physical body is automatically loading and preparing for a future encounter before their brain has actually figured out what that encounter is. This means the gathered tension you feel on the leash isn't a conscious choice. The dog isn't actively deciding to misbehave. Their biology is just involuntarily bracing for impact. But this specific phase has a critical vulnerability. Because the actual behavior hasn't solidified yet, their energetic trajectory can still be safely altered. If you can spot that pre-prediction output, you buy yourself a hidden golden window of time to intervene before the brain locks into a reaction. On your next walk, give yourself one strict assignment. Stop scanning the neighborhood for distractions and simply monitor your dog's pace for that compressed stride. The moment you feel that step shorten, you execute an immediate physical intervention. You plant your feet and you completely stop moving forward. Notice what is missing here. There are no verbal commands. There are no physical yanks on the collar. This dead stop completely replaces the traditional leash correction. Next, check your internal mechanics. Let your body weight drop heavily down into your heels and actively lower your shoulders. Calm, pacing slows down. Finally, release one single, slow, and consciously controlled exhale. By physically down-regulating your own nervous system, you create a direct somatic circuit breaker. That sudden anchor of calm interrupts the dog's escalating physical tension across the leash. What you do in the 5 seconds immediately following that stop and exhale is your entire practice. Keep your posture relaxed and look softly in the direction your dog is attending to. Don't force them to make eye contact with you, and don't demand immediate compliance. The dynamic of the walk changes right here. You are no longer trying to fix a broken moment. You are safely holding space while your dog processes the environment. Real transformation on a walk only occurs when you step out of the chaos of a reaction and understand that the actual work begins before the behavior ever exists.